Big thank you to the guys at Southwest Mechanical, Mechanical and Off-Road. These guys pressed out my caster bush, put the new caster bush in the new arm, and we're ready to go. G'day guys, we're back in the shed again. Cold winter's nights. I'm getting stuck in and installing the engine mounts onto the subframe. A little bit of faffing about here, trying to work out how these Turner Motorsport engine mounts go in, getting all the tools, also greasing all the bolts, using Penrite's copper grease, basically as an anti-seize to try and make sure that when we do need to pull this back out again, the bolts come out nice and easy. After that, we will go on to installing the power steering rack and get those bolts in, get the rack in, and put all of that stuff together so that the subframe with the rack and the engine mounts are ready to go, slide underneath the car and raise up to bolt up to the chassis. Okay, here I am doing the final torque up on the power steering rack, getting the star-headed bolts or the E-Torx bolts, getting the torque wrench onto the back side of that, using another spanner to get the hold the nut into position and get the tension up. This was a little tricky, a little fiddly, and a little clunky, but once this torque settings were done, we were ready to slide that subframe complete underneath the car and start preparing to raise it up to get it back into position. I've got the M light on. Something major is about to happen. I'm about to pull that bumper off. Let's see how we go. I'll get you guys, I'll position. There we go, I think that's going to be sweet. Watch me pull this bumper off. Okay guys, I'm in the wheel arch playing around, cutting a few cable ties and some sticky tape. The reason for this was whilst we were picking up the car over in Melbourne, the bumper wasn't really held on real well and I needed to cable tie it and fix it into position so that the car was fit for transport to come back to Perth. Took a little bit of fiddling around, also played around with the inner guard liner to try and get that out as well. And once we got all that stuff out, the bumper literally came off, apart from a snag with another bit of cable tie and wire in the front grille. But once it was all off, we got free access to the radiator, the two coolers on either side, and starting to look real good, get easy access to refit that subframe. This was a good bit of fun. The banjo bolts on this power steering rack were an absolute nightmare to connect back up. Took me a few goes to get this right and a lot of fiddling around. You'll see me fiddling around. We fast-tracked the fitting of this purely because you guys don't need to see me swearing, carrying on, struggling to get those things back in. I'd like to welcome to the channel my trusty trades assistant, Emma. She's helping me here line up the subframe. Here you'll see us shimmying a lot into position, using a jack to lift the subframe. I'm lifting the subframe, Emma's lifting the subframe, trying to get these things lined up. There's 6 bolts plus the 2 engine mounts to line up. Was really tricky, but we managed to get there and get things lined up and the bolts started. And yes, the subframe is there hanging under its own weight in the end. Hey everyone, yeah, as you would have seen in the footage beforehand, we had a bit of a slow going trying to get position the subframe and get that up into position. Took a lot longer than I had anticipated, but we've got it there. It's semi-bolted in. We did hit a snag yesterday with the pinch bolt for the steering universal joint. Not sure if you can see that, but that is the pinch bolt, and I've managed to partially cross thread it. Not ideal, but luckily for me I have a thread tap, so we're going to try and recover 1, the threads inside the uni joint, and 2, I've done my best effort to try and recover the threads on the bolt itself. So let's have a crack and see if I can get this tap through the uni joint and recover that thread. Okay, this is me crawling under the car trying to fit the caster arms. With the caster arms, both coolers on either side of the car are in the way and fouling the bolt, so you've got to drop the oil cooler hose off each cooler. That's why you can see the cooler moving around. You can also see me faffing about with the oil drip tray and the like. So the cooler drizzled out a bit of oil whilst I was trying to align the bolt up and get the caster arm in. You see me whacking it with a hammer and trying to get everything aligned, as well as some grease on the bolts again. So a little bit fiddly, but we managed to get it done. This caster bolt is straight and it uses a captive nut to hold in tight where the front of the subframe is, in behind here. The one on the other side I'll show you is not so straight, so we've had to order a new one coming from BMW. So thank you to the spare parts guys at West Coast BMW in Wangara. They're big fans of the 1M. Big fans of this 1M race car in particular. So yeah, they've given us good pricing on all of that. Not sponsored, but still giving us great pricing. So if you're in the market for a BMW, go and see the guys at West Coast BMW in Wangara. And there we have it. All the suspension arms reconnected. Everything's still loose, waiting for final tensioning. But yeah, it's all in there. Left and right sides, all connected. You can already tell that the front wheels are pointing a lot more the same, rather than one pointing off to the left and one going straight. So we've definitely made a significant improvement in that space. Guys, that completes the subframe install. Essentially it's all buttoned up and all the bolts are in. We'll now go through, torque them up. Prior to torquing them up, we'll apply some anti-seize on there. But yeah, that's essentially done. If you like the content, like what we're putting out there, please subscribe to the channel. Likewise, episode 5, stick around. We've got some more stuff coming for the BMW, more parts from the US, more parts from Australia, more stuff going on in here. And yeah, we're getting closer and closer to getting this thing back on the ground, running and driving, and getting this thing back out on track. Remember, if you want to jump on board, please email us at 265motorsport@gmail.com, and I'll see you on the next one.
Okay, let's go.